Around 1200 BCE, one of the most dramatic collapses in human history unfolded. It wasn't just the fall of a kingdom, it was the implosion of an entire world system. Historians call it the Bronze Age collapse, and it reshaped the ancient Mediterranean forever. In the East, this story carries us to the age of Alexander the Great, the 330s BCE. In the West, it stretches even further, ending with the total annihilation of Carthage by Rome in the 140s BCE. But long before either of those events, something quieter and far more enduring began to rise from the ruins. And it starts with a name and a myth.
The word Phoenicia, it's not theirs, it's Greek.
Not a single person in Tyre, Sidon, or Byblos ever called themselves a Phoenician. To them, identity was local, civic, intimate. I am from Tyre. I am a Sidonian. I come from Byblos. That was enough. The Greeks gave them the name Phoenix, purple, because of the legendary Tyrian purple dye, extracted at great cost from sea snails along the Levantine coast. Producing just 1 gram required thousands of shells.
Those who worked with it daily bore its stain on their skin, their clothes, their very presence. To outsiders, they were the purple people. And so the label stuck, even though they never used it themselves. What they did sometimes call their tongue was Canaanite, and that word opens a much older door. Long before the Phoenicians sailed west, Canaan existed, a land of West Semitic peoples thriving in the Bronze Age, nestled between Egypt, Mesopotamia, and Anatolia. This wasn't a backwater. It was a crossroads of empires, woven into a global network centuries before globalization existed. 10 came from Cornwall in distant Britain. Amber flowed from the shores of the Baltic, modern Latvia. Lapis lazuli, that brilliant blue stone, journeyed over 4,000 miles from the mountains of Afghanistan.
Meanwhile, Minoan ships docked in Egyptian ports, and Egyptian pharaohs sent letters in Akkadian, the diplomatic language of the age.
Along the narrow strip we now call Lebanon, cities like Ugarit, Byblos, Tyre, and Sidon were already flourishing. Byblos, known to its people as Gebel, claimed to be the oldest city on Earth. Archaeology shows it was already trading with Egypt during the Pyramid Age, over 4,500 years ago.
Why? Because of the Lebanon mountains and the forests that once covered them. Just 5 kilometers inland, the land rises sharply into slopes once thick with oak, cypress, and fir.
But above all, the Lebanese cedar, tall, fragrant, nearly immortal in its durability. Egypt couldn't build its grandest temples or ocean-going ships without it. When Pharaoh needed wood for a royal barge or a sacred shrine, he turned to Byblos. Trade wasn't commerce as we know it. It was ritualized gift exchange. Timber from Gable in return for gold, alabaster, and statues of Hathor. In fact, the Egyptians so revered Byblos that they identified its patron goddess, Baalat Gebal, the Lady of Byblos, with their own Hathor, goddess of joy, music, and the sky. Offerings poured in, temples were shared, scripts mingled. Egyptian hieroglyphs appear in Byblos as early as 2500 BCE. But then, everything broke. Between 1200 and 1150 BCE, the interconnected Bronze Age world collapsed. Climate data shows prolonged droughts. Archaeology reveals burn layers, abandoned cities, mass graves. Letters from Ugarit to Egypt plead, "The enemy ships are here. My troops and chariots are in Hatti. We are lost." The mummy of Ramesses V shows lesions that may be smallpox. Famine, disease, and displacement triggered mass migrations. Not organized invasions, but desperate movements of people with nowhere else to go. The consequences were staggering. Mycenaean Greece fell silent. Its linear B script vanished for 4 centuries. The Hittite Empire disappeared from history. Egypt entered its 3rd intermediate period, fragmented and weakened. Yet along the Levantine coast, something extraordinary happened. Tyre, Sidon, and Byblos survived. Byblos was damaged, but rebuilt. Tyre, perched on an island just offshore, was nearly impregnable. Only Ugarit was erased, its streets littered with arrowheads, its archives buried in ash, never to be revived. While others collapsed, the Phoenician cities adapted, endured, and expanded. They kept trading, they kept sailing, and most crucially, they kept writing. Their script was lean, just 22 consonantal signs, an abjad, perfectly suited for Semitic languages. No vowels needed. But its simplicity was its power. This script spread like wildfire. The Aramaeans adopted it. The Hebrews refined it. And the Greeks, they saw it, borrowed it, and added vowels, creating the first true alphabet. From those 22 Phoenician symbols would eventually flow Hebrew, Aramaic, Syriac, Arabic, and, through Persian administration, even Brahmi, the ancestor of most Indian scripts. Now, who were these people? Not as Greeks saw them, but as they truly lived. They were not conquerors. No Phoenician army marched to build an empire. Instead, they built networks. Their city-states, Tyre, Sidon, Arwad, were ruled by hereditary kings, advised by councils of elders. Their gods came in divine pairs. In Carthage, Baal Hamon and Tanit, whose symbol, a triangle topped with a bar and dot, became a protective emblem on thousands of stelae. They founded colonies, not outposts of domination, but self-sustaining hubs. Gades in Spain, Carthage in North Africa, Motia in Sicily. There, they farmed wheat, pressed olives, made wine, and yes, unlike their Israelite neighbors inland, they ate pork without hesitation. In fact, pig bones dominate early Carthaginian sites. Their legacy wasn't carved in stone monuments of conquest, but in shared practices, common scripts, and maritime routes that turned the Mediterranean into a single cultural sea, centuries before Rome. When Rome finally rose, it absorbed Phoenicia into its empire. The last known Phoenician inscription, found in what's now Algeria, dates to 25 CE. But their true monument? It lives on every time we read, write, or sail across a connected world. Because the Phoenicians didn't seek to rule the earth. They simply built the bridges that let others cross it.